The expectation here is that DarkZero come in and get a job done. I think that we saw Fury beat Knights, but there were mistakes there, mistakes that weren't always punished. They're not going to have that same freedom. They're not going to have that same leeway against a team like DarkZero. I would expect them to really heavily punish this team if they give them any opportunity to. But let's not write off players like BG Man went big yesterday. I9 had moments yesterday. Dark went big yesterday. Yeah. There is plenty of opportunity here for Fury to stun DarkZero. What I will say is, if Fury are going to win this, I think they need to win it quicker rather than slower. And obviously there's another game going on at the same time. Just to remind you, there are 2 streams running. Twitch.tv/Rainbow6Bravo is where you can catch all the action between Bliss and Wolves. Bliss are currently 4-0 up. Make it 5-0 up now, defending Consulate. Oh, you did say, Tim, and I'll give it to you. You said, I expect a big team or 2 to go home. I said one of the big teams will go home today. And it could well turn out. I thought it might be NIP at a point. Oh, yeah, giving them a real game. They did. But yeah, that's one thing that I think everyone will remember is, you know, APAC teams going out in play-ins, blah, 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 blah. Actually, a really good showing by Crest. Would love to see them come back and perform again at the next major. However, we're almost ready. Bans are done and dusted. Things are wrapped up, and that means, Tim, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to actually get into the game and see if DZ or Fury will be the last team to secure that spot in Phase 2. And to start things off, we've got I9 on the Caveira. I love it. Why not? Start as you mean to go on. The thing is, honestly, like I say, for Fury here, I feel like there's, you know, very little expectation. They can play with a little freedom. Why not come out and just do something that might surprise DarkZero? Why not like this, hide in the bathtub and try and cheese a round or 2? You know, it's those sorts of things that you can easily look at and say, not a chance. But what it is going to do is it's going to test DarkZero to make sure that they're coming in here. I don't know if a professional mindset is really the right phrase to use, you know, but they've got to have that mindset of coming in, being thorough, checking everywhere, doing everything, you know, ticking all the boxes, making sure that they're not leaving stones unturned. Because if they're playing like this, there's a real chance that Fury could stun them if they do. I really think I9's plan was to, I mean, for the whole of the prep phase, I'm guessing he probably got drowned in the bathtub. No, he didn't know it all. That's why he was staying in the bathtub was the idea. And then as soon as prep phase ended, he sprinted off downstairs and I think was trying to look for anyone trying to, as you sometimes see teams do, they'll enter in through the garage door because it's soft and work their way up the stairs from there. He was hoping to catch someone, not to be the case here, but every chance that he can work some more magic as we go along. Canadian with eyes on the Valkyrie, holding around here inside of Solar. And that appears to be the main point of ingress, at least for him and a couple of members on his team. Yeah, going to have the second drone going in there as well. Again, just trying to feed that information. They're going to be looking to get the top floor here, DarkZero. They are attacking onto kitchen and dining, so they'll want that verticality. They've got Canadian, they've got Gaveni, both with a lot of destruction. Also, Flores in the hands of Rice as well. Those Roteros, of course, can rip up that flooring if used in such a way. But the focus really is going to be get the ram in there, get those little bots rolling across the floor and ripping it up. Like Olis does manage to pick up Rice, but it's a direct trade as Rice did have the Claymore down. Speaking of Rice, yeah, didn't have the best performance earlier on today against G2. I think he ended up at like 3-12 or something crazy. Really want to see him come online in this matchup as well. I mean, they need more than just that coming online because Canadian and Gaveni went dark all of a sudden. 2 quick kills coming in for Dark and Crit. All of a sudden, there is no vertical destruction available and even less gunpower available as Dark takes down Pamba. It's all up to NJR. 1 versus 4. Shut down outside of the trophy window. It's going to be BG Man to find that final kill. And this is the danger potentially for DarkZero already. It looks like Fury are having a lot of fun. There's laughs. They're happy with the outcome of the round. And DarkZero need to make sure that they don't get into too much of a comfort zone too quickly. Oh boy, oh boy. I mean, a starting point there of gunfights looking hot as well for the side of Fury just shows that this game may be a little bit harder than maybe DZ bargained for. We'll see if they warm into it or not. We did say at the back of the game earlier on, at the end of the day, a team might be a little bit of a low point there. You know, you've got to fight through the best of 3, might be a little bit nervous. They've had a chance to sit and watch you all day and really be ready for this game. It can work in reverse where if you haven't played a game on the day, some teams coming a bit cold and it could take them 3, 4, 5 rounds to get into it. But for Fury, not the case. 3 or 4 players there have come out, they've hit big shots, they've completely shut DarkZero down, and that's without the Caveira having even to be involved in that round. Yeah, not at all. It was all about that fight over top floor. Gaveni
Slovenian Canadian being taken down, and that really was breaking the back of the round. Lycolis just signaling as well, you know, the intention from Fury to get aggressive, to get out of the map, maybe have a little run out, little jump out, and just try to surprise DarkZero. As I said, they can play with a freedom here, Des. They can just take it to them and sort of play any kind of style that they want, really. You know,
I love how Dark,
they're going to have to react.
Dark basically to BG men, no, I'm not stopping putting this barricade up for you, walk around, force him to rotate through Dark. Just like, no, this is the ego that I've got now. Look at me, I just got 2 kills in that last round, mate. You got to go around me. So I'm sure he'll get many more of those. Yesterday, it was Crit, it was Dark having massive gains. Lycolis with a huge clutch at one point. And 9-9 was quiet in Mat 1, but when it came round to Skyscraper, I think we said he single-handedly won about 4 rounds for his team with some unbelievable clutches. So if you're looking at this team and thinking, I don't know anything, no, it's all about DarkZero. Trust me, don't disrespect Fury. They can be absolutely terrifying when they're on form.
Just going to be watching that vertical window through towards Library.
It's 6-0 to Bliss, by the way.
Oh, Tia Wolves. We've seen them do this before on LAN, you know, just sort of crumble in those important matches. And it's like it could be a little bit more of the same. So Cavani gets himself inside of the map on the Thinker, just looking to move through games. Going to be attacking onto the top floor at this time around. So looking to get that Library side secured. Rice keeps sending in the Rotero drones, looking to clear out the utility around Piano. Will get the shield taken down, so that's going to give a little bit of freedom now for DarkZero to start moving in. But Pamba is going to be taken out by Crit J, who's lurking down there in the basement, and that creates a big problem for DarkZero now, because Crit J, they've got the man advantage. He can stay out there for as long as he wants, really. Really
caught them off guard there. Think about earlier on back on Oregon when they were playing against G2, and we had Doki sat at the bottom of Armory stairs, took out a drone coming in through double door. There was someone there immediately ready to pick him off from Armory window. Whereas here, you've just seen Crit be able to rotate through most of the map, you know, play down through the basement, up West Main, back to rejoin his team. No one's been in a good spot to be able to close and convert onto that. So for DZ, a little bit of a slower start here, being punished when they're losing out in these gunfights, which again, Fury are really hot on so far in these first 2 rounds.
Yeah, not too bad so far though for DarkZero. They've got themselves Library control, they've got the wall opened up so they can move in potentially towards a plant spot should they get into a position to enable them to do that. So not the end of the world. They do need to find a couple of kills though. 45 seconds left to go, and they need to be careful that that slow methodical style doesn't come back to bite them, that they're not leaving it too late. At the minute, they're still in there on the drones. They spot the man underneath. Don't think he's aware, so that should be a pickup for DarkZero that might just level things up, but 30 seconds left to go. They need to be careful.
Thing is, for DarkZero, they've already said, like you heard Troy talking over comms earlier, patience is the name of the game, and sure, they're happy playing it right up until the end of this one. They've got the cover coming in downstairs below.
That's big.
NJR's in a great spot as well to stop the C4 coming out. That means this gets stuck. Fury have just conceded a bit too much room, and DarkZero have happily stepped in, and now it's a post plant for the remaining 3 members on Fury.
That is exactly where I expect DarkZero to win rounds and potentially win this game. They were just on another level of thought there. You know, ultimately Fury thought that they had it locked down with the Nitro from underneath, but no, DarkZero were a step ahead. They knew exactly what was happening, and they even left the kill to the right minute. Like, yeah, we're going to wait until he's putting the diffuser down, because what's going to happen? He's going to have the Nitro in the hand. He's not even going to be in a position to fight back, and it was just perfectly timed from NJR, and DarkZero really well played. They get themselves round 2. It's going to be 1-1.
No, I said blue, and then I said snow's clear, because I thought there was 2 down there, right?
It's all a bit of discussion around comms. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's another thing that he said earlier on as well, Troy, when we heard him over, just like you did then over the microphone, he was saying something around, look, we're a team, they're not a team, they're not a team. Really, that round did feel like team play. Although in the early round when they got caught up by Crit, sure, it was very much a freebie given away. That latter stage execution was exactly what I was talking about. The ability to have someone below at the same time the plant is going down and deny it away, the C4 from coming out. Good bit of team play, good bit of coordination. Everyone aligned around the same thing, and it was getting that plant down behind half wall. Now we go down into the basement. We've got this mirror on side for Lycolis, and a pretty dug-in comp overall, actually, for the side of Fury. I don't think you're going to see too much roaming on this side, Tim.
No, I wouldn't expect so. I9's on the Goyo, being one of our usual roamers. BG Man might get off into the map with Ward and we've seen it once or twice so far. Maybe he'll play in dining, but maybe not. Could be more useful down in the actual site. It's a bit of a funny one, is this. We haven't really seen this site defended in a turtle sense for quite a long time now, generally. So the prevailing strategy, the prevailing technique for defending this site is to get yourself off into the map and make teams do a full map clearance. It doesn't look like that's really what Fury are going for. Instead, they've got Dark upstairs inside a dining, but that is pretty much going to be the limit of their home game.
They've got the EMP on side here as well from Thatcher to make this one all too easy to get opened up. And Canadian feeling a little bit fearful of something here, but there's nothing to block it away, nothing to stop this being opened up. T-Tor's moment, lovely little panoramic around that one. Thank you very much, observers, to give us that view of the lovely breach now opened up on Garage. They haven't necessarily got to play it. It can be that phantom pressure, but here, everyone else just suddenly hightailed it away from the Garage opening and instead up towards the north side. He could punish this one if he stays put. Has now moved away. Canadian's still going to give himself a good go on this one and try and catch his man, but it's simply not going to happen.
Yeah, that was a beautiful attempt. Just a little spray through the barricade. You're always just hoping. We saw this actually used. We saw somebody drop this hatch yesterday and pick up a double, so definitely right for Gavani to be paying attention to that. Crit J up above as well, just feeding information with that heartbeat scanner. DarkZero really do need to do something about this mid-floor. They can't necessarily go in and get the diffuser down. They're not going to be able to take their eyes away from West Main. They're not going to be able to take their eyes away from that trophy drop. They need to be careful, and really the answer is go in there and get those kills.
I mean, again, for DarkZero, you don't always see the plan fully formulating until the latter parts of the round. Crit J wants out of danger here and is getting in the right sort of place. It's Rice who's got the Overwatch on him and hoping to find out exactly where he is and pick him off if he tries to get a little bit cheeky. But as you get in towards that final 45, 30 seconds or so, that's when you'll see everything really start to tie together for DarkZero.
Yeah, we see the track stingers coming out. That's just to try and deal with West Main. Doesn't really address the trophy side just yet. Like always manages to take
Two,
down
three.
Make that three as Pamber and NJR join him. And that is going to be a huge advantage now for Fury. It's just time for DarkZero to try and find kills. This could be flawless, but no. Rice manages to stop that, picking up one onto I9, but that's all he can do. And talk about Fury, that was fast, and it was furious. What a round from Fury.
Largely from Lycolis inside a trench as well. Just 3 players all trying to push him through a single doorway bottleneck. A gun like the Vector is going to love that scenario. You hold down left mouse button, it's the fastest firing gun on the defensive side, and well, what can you do except cry? All 3 of them walking in and going down to Lycolis, and he ultimately was the bait for the final 1-2. A bit more muted in this game, I think.
A little bit more muted this time around. I mean, we knew.
Look at this, look. That's a beautiful shot in itself, but the next 2 as they just fly in, one after the other, gets both. Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Lycolis happy to eat the nade at the end of things there, but why not? Your job is done. You've pretty much won the round. But yeah, as you say, a little bit more muted on the side of DarkZero. I think, you know, they're not up against G2. They don't necessarily have that big character on the other side in Alomar who's going to be screaming at them. So, you know, they know that there's a job to be done here, let's be honest. The stakes were high in the game against G2, the winner going through, but the stakes are much higher here. Losing, you go home. So definitely a sort of a different focus from DarkZero.
I remember the conversation, I think it was about 18 months ago. I had a chat with Troy and was asking, you know, what before back on like SSG, you were screaming every single round, you were super hyped up. Yet on DarkZero, he saw you go real quiet. Why is that? And he turned around and said that ultimately the problem with the really high energy is when things aren't going so well and he can't really be like that, it just puts everyone on edge a little bit. If he's screaming even when things aren't going so well, people get a little bit tense, it throws them off their game. And so his view has always been with DarkZero, stay in the middle. If I can keep the energy middling and everyone is never too low or never too high, we're a lot more consistent in terms of our performance. Today, obviously, we've seen that change a little bit for him. And personally, I like seeing some of that energy to come out, knowing that someone's ready to go to bat for you, can just get that adrenaline pumping and get you excited as a team. As long as performance doesn't diminish as a result, I think it can be a good thing, but it feels like he's trying to find that balance around the right time to use it and the right time to be more controlled, more composed, like he is now, when the team really needs to focus and get things back online.
Pamber with some quick movement there. Drone goes into library. He follows it in very soon after once he knows that it's clear. Taking out gadgets along his way. I9 still downstairs. Probably not picked up on the drones because he's not being addressed just yet. So he's just going to hold himself in that position. Certainly, ooh, no, maybe not. I think they might be aware of him down there. The thing is, if they are aware of the Caveira on the bottom floor, it's really not the end of the world. That's a clever move if they are aware, because they can watch the main stairs from there without him necessarily being aware.
Unless he doesn't come up main stairs.
Has managed to get himself up the library stairs. This could be the moment. I don't think they have any clue whatsoever. He's just got one inside a box. He doesn't know, but he finds him. He's not going to go for it. He does get the kill, though. Crit J with one onto Canadian with the trade. 3 versus 4, though, as I9 doing the damage, but shut down from the window before he could drop the hatch. Somehow, though, Fury managed to keep themselves on top, Des.
Into a 2 versus 2 with a Monty on the other side. It starts to feel a little bit precarious for Fury. A real flurry of kills coming in at that mid part in the round as, at least for a second, I thought really dragged them ahead, but it wasn't without DarkZero getting some responses onto the other side at the same time. So it's not unsavable here for DarkZero, but as long as that diffuser isn't down, they are at a disadvantage. They're down really a primary weapon because it is the Monty that's coming marching on through. So Dark and BG Man, as long as they're playing crossfires here, as long as they can stop the diffuser going down, in my opinion at least, are in a winning position.
Yeah, there's a lot on NJR here to be finding some kills. I think just looking to clear out some of that utility, but it is no hard breach on side, so there's no option to change up the layout of the sites here. Canadian's just going to have to try and push in through the single door, going to take damage as he does. NJR that really needs to be following with it. Exactly that. He's just giving the information, and BG Man will take half health damage, but manages to find the kill onto NJR. Roll up to try in this situation. Cut down by BG Man, and that's going to be a double for him at the end of the round. Fury 3-1, and let's not forget DarkZero are on the attack here. This is not looking good for them.
I mean, they give it as good as they get it.
They certainly do.
Love to see it. I think really there again, a small mistake coming in terms of the Mark 14 from the DKB, just clipping Canadian as he was holding in the right position. Quick tack timeout coming in here though, very understandably. Needs to be a thing.
Yeah,
can't hear too much of this one, sadly.
No, we can't hear too much of this one, unfortunately. But yeah, DarkZero really hitting the pause button there. They know that things are getting away from them, and really on the attacking half of Chalet, as a minimum, they want the 3-3. Let's not forget, this is their map pick as well. You know, they're wanting to go in there now. They need to level this up at the half. They certainly don't want to be behind when Fury come onto the attack. I do think that we will see better out of DarkZero on the defense, I will be honest. But it just seems to be a little bit of a lack of awareness at the minute.
Oh boy, oh boy. Just a constant march on through, and I like the disruptive game that we've seen. Like, I know for I9 back in round 1, you didn't really have to see the Kavira put to any use. His team did the business that needed to. Bless you, by the way, Tim. Whereas in this round here, that's why he suddenly disappeared, a bit of a sneeze. This round here, like, yes, he got much more involved. He got that kill, which was a nice disruption on the top floor. Couldn't convert it into much more than that, but it was enough as a starting point, right? And they are just keeping DarkZero guessing, and when you're against a team that is quite slow, and I mean, we say slow, Canadian and the team would happily tell you it's about patience. If you can disrupt them early on and really kind of throw their game plan in, throw a wrench in the works, that's where you can see things go horribly wrong, as it kind of did in that previous round. Can't pull together a 2 versus 2 when the Monty does not really have a primary weapon to make good use of.
No, exactly that. You know, I sort of look at Monty sometimes as kind of, it depends on your numbers. What I would say is when you've got a full 5, Monty's a full operator because he's doing lots of things. He's giving information, he's disrupting. That's what Monty's there to do. He's there to push people around. He's there to create space. And that's what he's doing when you've got a 5. But as your numbers deplete, I would also deplete, you know, how much of an operator I would see Monty as. And when you're down to a 2v1, he's practically not an operator. It's almost a 1v1 at that point.
He obviously gives you the information and the ability to plan safer, but it's not a gun.
He sort of goes down from a full operator when you've got a team of 5 to maybe half an operator when you've got a team of 2.
Yeah, let's just say he's not really going to be contributing to any trades.
No, exactly that. His usefulness certainly drops off the more players are lost. So being the last alive there, very difficult for Canadians. So 3-1, we find ourselves Fury looking great at the minute. You know, I'm not just going to put it on the fact that necessarily DarkZero are losing a couple of rounds. Fury are going out and winning them. They're getting aggressive, they're taking early gunfights, they're finding kills, they're being unpredictable. I like what they're doing so far. It's no wonder they've picked up a few rounds.
I was curious if there were any magnets originally positioned inside of here to help with getting rid of the nades that come heading in towards that shield. And one did come raining straight on over, but as you've seen, they've finally managed to clear it away with the use of the Flores drones. Plenty really of utility that can stay behind here to clear it away. And they've managed to do just that. That's one part of the puzzle solved for them. Not really yet towards opening up sight, but remembering last time round, they got the control downstairs inside a lobby, they planted him behind half wall, and really...
Didn't get it.
Did he get... I swear he destroyed something, but was it not?
Was it the mute jammer? He was taken out before he managed to get the mute jammer. Lycolis with an opener again onto Rice. No Claymore to find the trade this time. Pamba does manage to get one onto Crit, leaving us now 4 versus 4, but Lycolis has been going well at the beginning of the rounds for Fury. It's not really the beginning at the minute, but in terms of the openers at least, Gavini does manage to find I9 using that Goyo canister against him with the vertical nade, taking out the mute jammer, but also getting a very nice little bonus.
I do really think their I9 should have had that read on what was coming next. Like, you know the mute jammer's there, they've got no other way of getting through it. Fair chance they're going to start nading him from below, and you know there's a nade on side because the nade already cleared this jungle area on the pushing towards Piano. So maybe a little bit inattentive there to what was going on throughout the round and has paid the price for it. However, Canadian put down, picked back up again by the Finker, and Dark just goes, no, stay down, my son. Down a second time he goes. Dark in a great spot here to stop this plant going down. They need to remove him first.
Yep, Lycolis and Dark both on very low health, though. Is Dark going to get him on the swing? Absolutely not. Pamba able to go in, get aggressive. He could find another here in Lycolis potentially, but no, BG Man's got his bands back. He's got him on the cover. He manages to pick up Pamba. 17 seconds left to go. Lycolis cut down with the few hit points that he had. It's all up to BG Man. He's taking the peak. He knows where they're coming from. Out goes the impact. It's not going to do the job. He swings, he fires, he misses. He still keeps searching, seeking. He knows where the cover is. He gets one. Surely he wins this.
No.
He's the head and misses. Can he find his man? No! NJR gets the plant, gets the kill, gets the round. DarkZero fight back. It's 2-3.
Massive out of NJR there. It really looked for a second like that should have been done and dusted, but no. Massive pull off the back of the diffuser to close things down. Keeps them in the conversation. 3-2 going to be that scoreline now, rather than a 4-1, which would have felt terrifying as a prospect to fight back against as DarkZero. But here, like I said, still in the conversation.
Boy, oh boy, big round for DarkZero there. Fury, again, still not making it easy, no matter what they seem to do. Pamba gets himself up into Piano, but BG Man there is covering and gets the kill. BG Man, big round for him, and I think maybe even a little bit of frustration. He saw the head of Ibana, he saw NJR, it was one shot, but he just missed it. So difficult sometimes, you know, in those tight situations. You've got a zoomed-in scope, you're trying to move around, you just move a little bit too quickly, or maybe not enough. We'll see it. Just NJR, see the traces going across the top, gets away with it, but that's how it goes at this level of siege. Going to be DarkZero take the round, and what a matchup we've got. But I like to see this from Fury. They lose the round, but it's still smiles, still laughing. You know, and that makes them a difficult team to beat, because you're not going to get in their head mentally. You sort of see that maybe they've got the opinion of like, look, we've got DarkZero in an elimination match here. We win this, we go through to phase 2. You know, there's no pressure on them.
That's it. When there's no expectations on you, there is no pressure. Whereas I think for DarkZero, there's an element of, look, we're DarkZero, one of the hallmark NA teams, like we should be really getting through to the main stage here and breezing past Fury, and Fury making it hard for them. That pressure will start to mount up. The longer this game goes on, the longer that Fury stay relevant. However, last round of the half here for Fury on the defense. DarkZero's last chance to crack this egg wide open and get a 3-3 split, which would be very welcomed. I'm actually curious, I've never really thought about it too much, but they're in a good spot there where they can't obviously zap it from the outside or destroy it from the outside, but as soon as they try and plant on bins, that canister is so easy to just destroy and deny the bins plant outright.
Yep, it's very nice placement, and it's something that they're definitely going to have to deal with. We saw this last time, Rice just deploying the track stingers at the top of West Main stairs. That's going to prevent that flank coming down, at least for free anyway. There will at minimum be an audio queue of somebody shooting that out to try and move down. Rice is going to relocate round to the front, potentially looking to use the nades to clear that Goyo canister maybe. He's just going to strafe across, needs to be careful he doesn't overexpose himself, and I think, yep, that's exactly what he's going to be doing.
Nade in hand should get rid of that Goyo canister. They're dying to try and get it out. It's still there. I was going to say, really, the only option here is to use nades. I have to go through 2 nades just to clear it out. Go. But it does probably also illustrate a little bit to the side here on what the intent is going to be.
Exactly that.
You know, a bin plant is coming in, that they've got a bit of gadgetry to play behind here, mainly looking in towards 2 more nades. The flash is on hand too. So that's where Fury need to be respectful. They've got C4s in back pocket, 2 of them. They've got impacts to play behind. Still a lot to deny if DarkZero do go for what looks to be a pretty telegraphed execute.
This is not great for Fury, though. Pamba's been able to push up into Electrical Corridor here, so he's got a really good cross going in sort of behind Pillar there, and he can just hold down into Connector if he wants to. He's got a shield that he can play behind. He's got that freedom of movement to play on this 90-degree angle. It's a good power position for him, and it might just cut down Fury's ability to move around inside of side. But I tell you what, they're not going to need to move inside. There's a couple of kills come in. Dark with the latest onto Pamba, who trades out the kill that he found onto BG Man. 4 versus 2. Canadians inside of sight. Canadians dead. Diffuser is down, and there is no picking him up from that position. Lycolis is a little bit wedged inside of Connector, but it doesn't matter because I9 strafes across, finds the man through the soft wall above the mirror window, and Fury, they close out another. It's a 4-2 defensive half. What a start.
Just felt like they had so much there prepared on the side of Fury, whether it was the C4 denial from the mirror window onto bins, whether it was still having one player instead of dining sat watching the hatch to deny verticals. They had so much going for them that it felt like DarkZero maybe tried to take too little ground, too little control there, and it led to many power positions still being online for the side of Fury. But that's a 3-3 half, Tim.
4-2?
4-2 half, sorry.
I'm going to say, I'm looking at my notes thinking, I'm sure I make this 4-2.
4-2, correct.
Yeah, Fury, just, like I said, they just look like they're playing without pressure. They're playing completely differently to maybe what we saw against G2 yesterday. You know, the mistakes seem to have sort of disappeared. You know, everything's just going right for them at the minute. And it's fantastic to watch. It's an absolute pleasure.
This is what I mean. Look, Dark on the hatch just wasn't an area of the map they took.
I think DarkZero, you know, there are mistakes there. They're just not dealing with, that's twice on basement that we've seen them just not deal with that verticality. They didn't deal with Trophy last time. They haven't dealt with Dining this time. You know, you have to be dealing with that map presence.
And this is a reminder, once again, twitch.tv/Rainbow6Bravo. The other series is just getting into its second map, Bliss and Wolves, heading into Night Haven Labs. If Bliss win that map, oh boy, Wolves are going home.
That's certainly an unexpected outcome for many, I think, you know, at the beginning of the day yesterday. But Bliss have impressed on the whole. You know, they've already beaten Wolves once, and they're certainly not making their life any easier now. So we'll see whether Wolves are going to be that big casualty. But I tell you what, they might not be the only one if this continues. Fury 4-2 on DarkZero's map pick of Chalet before we go into Clubhouse for our second map. And right now, DarkZero, they're going to have to show us something different on the defense. I think we might see it. I think DarkZero may be a bit more comfortable, a bit more confident here on the defense, even though it is Chalet. I think we will see better from them, but we're going to need to.
What I will remark is Fury's attacks against G2 yesterday really weren't up to scratch on Consulate, despite Consulate being their favourite map. They were just a little bit slow, a little bit inefficient at times as well. But like this, if he got that second kill, that would have been mega. But the trade was there. Crit followed I9 in, and they've managed to make it work, securing a 2-for-1 fight quite early in the round.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well played there by Fury. I like the aggression. I was going to comment, I9 not messing about. Usually, it's difficult to get out into that library corridor when you've got a man at the top of blue stairs. But no, they had a plan, and they followed it through to a T. He manages to get 2 power positions cleared out, mezzanine and library stairs. That now gives them top floor control. So Fury, with a minute and a half on the clock, they can start working these verticals. They've got the sledge. They can look for those angles. That's exactly what they're going to start doing. I like this from Fury.
Looking at our next map we're going into as well, Club, it's really not a high prior map at all for the side of DarkZero. So
Club is anybody's, isn't it? It's one of them.
I'm nervous for them going into it because Fury just looked quite full of beans going into that map. DarkZero, absolutely not. BG Man strikes, Gaveni's off the board. We're staring at a 5-2 here, not forgetting again, it's DarkZero's map pick, Tim.
Canadian's going to get taken down by Lycolis, and fighting from inside of the connector there. He's going to do absolutely nothing, though. Look at the spirits. They are high on the side of Fury, and they are starting to rattle towards a quick first map win here, potentially. 5-2 now. Hands up who had that on their card for today.
You know what I do love about these guys? It's time to tell a little story. Yesterday, we were heading home from after our broadcast, and one of the last games we cast was Fury's game against Knights, where they won. And we actually ended up in the same shuttle home as them.
We did.
And just how...
Very nice, guys.
Yeah, really, really lovely guys. Everyone I speak to about I9, for example, is like, you know what, nicest guy in the world. Like, honestly, have a chat with him, really cool guy. But then it was also really nice sitting there watching back clips of their game and their high moments, their plays, their clutches. And they were just all hyping each other up so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was such a lovely thing to see, like, a team be so, like, they still have got that, in my eyes, that excitement when you first get into a new game that you enjoy so much. And like even rounds they're losing, they're laughing and smiling and just enjoying the thrill of competition, which is what makes them really... It's very easy to love them, I think, in the way that they play and approach Siege and their mentality at the minute. And I'm really hoping they can keep doing well. It's just that constant question of, okay, then when the DarkZero turn on, though?
I think if Fury continue like this, as they go, if they get into phase 2, say, on the back of this,
let's be honest.
I think they're going to start picking up a lot of neutral fans. You know, we've always got those teams that sort of come through as a bit of a surprise package, and I think Fury could certainly be that, and people will start to get behind them. They will start backing them. You know, and like you said, they absolutely deserve it. They're really nice guys. You know, like you say, just on the bus, very wholesome, really, watching all those clips back straight away, wanting to see the big moments, wanting to see the clutches, just sort of high energy, having fun with each other. And it's a pleasure to watch from the outside. So DarkZero, they are struggling at the minute. 2-5. They're going to take to different side this time. It's not going to be games, it's going to be kitchen and dining, so they're going to be trying to hold on to that top floor again. Good teamwork from Fury though to get that Twitch drone inside, not going to be taken out by the laser gate, and is able to take down the default cam and just provide a little bit of information as to what's going on in master bedroom.
Sure, looking in towards the grim, really, from BG Man, though. We spoke about this a couple of times already, but it can be dangerously oppressive with how many charges he's got now and the increased radius, for example. Lots to really help the team on their pusher into the building in here. Really good pushing it in towards the bathroom door, where normally you'll have someone sat playing on that half wall. It could make life a lot easier to get yourself inside the building. They've got the tags coming in here as well. There's still a soft wall there, and sure enough, it's going to force them to jet away, and that opens up the rest of the team to go on in. Looking towards the right spot, Nade coming in, knows where his man is. Nade's on top of Rice here. Don't think it'll kill him as he'll get out of dodge just about in time, but they still know where he is. Another nade coming in. A C4 coming out. It's to me, to you. It's hot potato between the two teams, Tim.
It certainly is, and the topping is there as Crit manages to get Canadian, but there's two kills come back. Surely Rice is over here. 3 versus 3 now as BG Man finds Gavini and gives Fury that advantage once again. What a brawl we've just had on the top floor. I love that use of gadgetry, of utility from both sides. Neither of them able to make it stick for the longest time, but it's Fury that come out on top, and they've still got the sledge, Des, so they can get those verticals opened up. There's a real opportunity to get a plant down inside of kitchen potentially.
What I'd really love to see them do from here is to find a pretty narrow window on what they want to try and plant. It's almost found NGR as well, but find a pretty narrow angle you want to plant in, whether it's kitchen, whether it's getting just inside the doorway, inside of dining. Yeah, don't try and cover too much off here. And sure enough, BG Man on absolute fire in this round, putting himself up to 12 kills inside 8 rounds. What a game he's having.
Only 3 deaths as well, Des. 12 and 3. BG Man is absolutely flying. He was one of the players we picked up on after the game yesterday. I9 manages to find that final headshot to close out the round, and that puts Fury onto map point for map 1 against DarkZero here. And the other thing to remember is this so far has been done in quick fashion, Des. This can only be described as a run over at the minute.
It is feeling that way. DarkZero, questions are going to start being asked. You know, debating exactly where to play as well, because I mean, when you're getting slapped on every single site on the map, where do you go?
That's it. There's so few choices for DarkZero at the minute. It feels like they've kind of tried everything. It feels like they've tried a number of different things, and just it doesn't really matter. Fury just seem to have the answers at the minute, no matter what they bring. So Fury are locked and loaded. You can just see it on their faces. Look, BG Man's just hitting shots for fun.
He is, isn't he? It's one of the things to remark is, you know, they made a change earlier in the summer. A couple of different faces coming in, trying to add something fresh into the team, and you're really seeing it start to unlock in the performances you've had from a few players, you know, like Colis. A couple of massive clutches, not just on this map, but previous ones. Looking back to the mirror earlier, the 1v2 that he had yesterday on Skyscraper and Barbecue and Kitchen, for example. Dark, amazing game. Crit, the young gunner they picked up early this year, has taken a bit of time to warm into things, but you can see him starting to get into a groove. And I9 was quiet in yesterday's first couple of maps, but since then, also really got himself more involved in the games as quite an experienced player. In case you aren't 100% aware, I9, formerly known as Napew, may recognize that name from Elevate of old.
Be positioned inside of kitchen for the time being. Then it is a basement site here from DarkZero, so they're holding that mid floor just like Fury did. I would expect Fury to have learnt the lessons that they benefited from, which is make sure you go and clear out dining particularly, and also are aware of that trophy hatch drop. Lycolis is going to get to work immediately on that main wall. It will be opened up pretty easily inside of 45 seconds, so that's good. We see one DarkZero player just dropping back to site as well from that mid floor. I9 was in a position potentially. He's going to try and walk in, but you can't do that. They're not going to get away with it. I think Fury maybe just getting a little bit overconfident there.
Maybe weren't 100% aware there was a player inside a trench, or thought he could bypass him, but NJR is a little bit too ready. We're a bit more past the days of 3-speed Ashes just running into sight inside 15 seconds of round start, I'm afraid. And now Dark has got to try and work his way in towards Library. There's one dug in the back corner. There's no nades really to make use of here to force him out. So they might just have to abandon Library and try and find a different way through. By the looks of it, a lobby stairs rush might be on the cards, Tim.
Yeah, this is more that sort of full map hold that I was talking about from DarkZero. They just have a presence all over the place, and it just makes it very difficult. What Dark's going to do here is dump this ram gadget just inside of the window. It's going to set off, and it's going to make an absolute ton of noise, and it might just prevent any sound from exactly what is about to happen, which is the rush coming downstairs. They're unaware. That's one kill. Can they find more? They should know by now. Toxic Babe will slow them down. Pamba with a kill onto Crit J as well. DarkZero have stood up well to that ploy.
But it's straight onto the Yokais, and the thing is pretty much all of DarkZero are pinned inside of blue here. Now, they haven't got to really burst out of it yet because there's no plant attempt trying to go down. They're in a 4v2. They haven't got to do anything too crazy. Really, eyes here turn towards BG Man and those two shields that he's got in back pocket. Can he make them work?
Just trying to find that echo drop will take it down, but Canadian is in a position to do something about this. Don't think he knows exactly where the man is. He's going to have to go over the balcony or down the stairs. Realistically, for the time being, he's going to keep himself inside a library, drop the hatch instead. Canadian could be a real round changer. BG Man is in a difficult position for DarkZero because he's cutting off a lot of rotates there. A lot of movement is going to be difficult for them now if they want to get into that wine side. They don't really have a choice but to go through his line of sight.
No pressure on the other side because Pamba can see everything, though. He knows if a plant attempt is coming in, so Fury, I think they've left it a little bit too late here to try and make anything happen. All three of them are back up, but they've got to get some kills off the back of this one. Dart's getting himself inside. There's a C4 in Rice's back pocket that could do some work. Brings down Dart. Lycolis is in, trying to make a plant happen. Just about gets onto it, but BG Man had to win that firefight. It's not going to happen. NJR with 2 quick kills at the very end there to give the round to DarkZero.
Yeah, good patience from DarkZero there. Like you said, they were pinned back in blue corridor for the longest time, and they didn't panic. They just waited for their moment. They knew that they had the information that they needed from the Yokai drones. They could just shoot through the bins to try and take out the planter should that attempt come in. It worked perfectly. Lycolis unable to get that down, and it was an easy mop-up for NJR at the end. So a better round from DarkZero. They need to keep that going, though. That's got to be the building block. That's got to be the foundation. They don't have any mistakes left. It's still 6-3. There are still 3 opportunities for Fury to get this done.
Whew. All right. Bit of a lifeline for DarkZero to still stay part of this game, still in the competition. Best way I can describe it. A few replays here to see how it started out. Really, as we commented, I9 trying to be more opportunistic, a little bit of a chancer, I feel, in that round and pay the price to NJR. And outside of that, DarkZero just made blue their absolute fortress, sat in there behind the Yokai cam to feed all the info they needed and didn't panic, didn't rush, just let things follow their natural order until Fury were forced to make a move based on time that was less than ideal for them.
We're going to head into round 10 now then. 6-3, we found ourselves to Fury. Don't adjust your sets or whatever you're watching this on. That scoreline is correct. Fury going fantastically well so far. And I tell you what, they're looking very worth every single one of those 6 rounds that they've won. They've been a pleasure to watch so far, especially BG Man. 13-4, going absolutely wild, and a real thorn in the side of DarkZero at the minute. But DarkZero do manage to get themselves a tough round back when the backs were to the wall. They've got to continue that now, though. They've got to get themselves more into this game. You feel like if they can start applying the pressure, I always feel like if this goes to overtime and Fury start, knowing that they're in a battle, then maybe DarkZero get that win because the experience will start to come clear and it will start to prove its worth. But for me, like I said, the quicker Fury can win, the better for them.
Completely agree. Still, 3 rounds is a lot to climb back up.
It is.
At least easier still in spirits, though, chasing downstairs, for example, trying to challenge on towards the garage door. Gaveni, last time round, they didn't have any nades to deal with the player sat in this position. They've got Dark on side here playing on the sledge, who does have it. So Gaveni's got to be careful. He is, of course, playing on the Jaeger, tons of ADSs, which means we'll need to see some of those flashes also committed in towards him. And that's assuming Gaveni just doesn't try and get out of there before it really starts to heat up.
They are just going to be in behind the bar inside of sight at the minute. We've seen him playing that sort of informational role quite a lot. The bulletproof cameras, something that DarkZero used quite heavily against G2 as well. And I think just looking to take advantage of that same information game against Fury here. They've done the same with the Yokai drones. Like Hollis, however, does pick up Rice. Let's not forget, they only need one round here, Fury. That allows them to now start moving across that top floor. They've got the sledge, they've got the Rotero drones, they've got the Ash. They can open up plenty of the verticals here. DarkZero, they're holding on. 1 minute left to go. Backs to the wall, Des. They've got to win this round.
Gaveni at least made the right choice in getting out and getting back onto site there. As soon as Rice went down, he was gone. Did not want to stay there without support and isolated. So good, at least, recognition of the state of play on his side of things. 4 players still alive, though, is not an impossible task. They're just pretty flat out of utility. No C4 to stack in behind. Sure, 3 smokes in the back pocket to play with. The Fury haven't yet started chewing through those, but lots of opportunity here, I feel, for the attack inside of Fury to choose where this execute happens, as they are in full control of the map, except for Canadian, who's playing out towards Dining.
Canadian's in a great spot there. He could really spoil the party because they're likely to push down those stairs at some point. They're likely to go over that balcony. You feel BG Man, he's going to go down and look to challenge on the library stairs. Does manage to find his kill onto Pamba. That could be a real big point. I'm not sure if Dark knew that that hatch was open. He's going to drop away and have to come back upstairs. Gaveni is shut down, and there comes the kills. It's a quick double from I9, a kill from BG Man. Canadian proves ineffectual off in Dining.